This is probably one of the strongest candidates for best smartphone of 2021, but there are a few things that are holding it back. This is the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 3 4 months later. This video is being brought to you in partnership with Epidemic Sound, your one-stop shop for all of your audio, sound effects, and commercial needs. If you're uploading content to social media, you need Epidemic Sound, and I got you covered with a 30-day free trial link down in the description below. And if you know me, then you know how we do it. We get straight to the cons right off the bat. Con number 1 is this S Pen and the lack of storage and portability carrying this S Pen is a con for me. Con number 2, continuing on the S Pen. This one kind of broke my heart. No S Pen support on the front display. Like, what am I supposed to do with this? Front display support would be nice, Samsung. Con number 3 is the battery life in comparison to other flagships on the market, but we have to set some realistic truths about battery when we talk about it later on in this review. Con number 4 is pricing. I know it has improved, but it's yet to be accessible to all of the masses. How many players got $2,000 in their pocket ready to throw a Samsung? I know we pay it in monthlies, but still, a $2,000 smartphone is gonna raise your monthly payment. And for some people, that's not affordable or achievable. So see if we can get the price down a little bit. Con number 5 is cameras per price point. At this price point, we expect some of the best flagship tier camera housings on this device, but I'll discuss cameras in detail a little later on. Let's talk design. How could you not love this design? If you're into innovation and big displays, this has both of those checked. Then there's these top of the line OLED panels, which now feature a 120 Hz refresh rate on both displays. That's pretty clutch. I mean, it's 4 months later and I still get a kick out of the quality being represented on this panel. But my only gripe is how reflective the protective coating on this main display is. Like, angles in certain rooms with certain lights being lit, you will see the reflections. Now, I'll be honest, it's not a deal breaker, but it's worth me giving it a mention. Now, there is an IPX8 water resistance for a slight peace of mind, but for those of you out there possibly questioning the durability, I'm 120 days in, caseless, and my device is still holding up as it did in the beginning, thankfully. Also, to be honest, when you feel this hinge quality, you start to have a lot more confidence in what Samsung is doing and where they're going with this foldable device. But in terms of design, the main improvements would be a proper storage for this here S Pen. Dust resistance in combination with water resistance would be a great design improvement, as well as a slightly wider front display, which we've heard many people ask for and request. And there's a couple other things, but we'll get into that later on in the review. Cameras. Now, I'll be honest, the cameras are not bad, but for the price of $2,000, they're not flagship quality or able to compete per se with the flagships of today. There should be a camera housing that competes with the best. Now, yes, video quality is good enough, photo quality is good enough, low light quality, not so good. And honestly, if you're looking for some of the best camera quality, you might want to look towards the S21 Ultra or the S22 Ultra, or even the iPhone 13 and 13 Pro Max for a better camera experience. But let's be honest, does everyone care about camera? No, but for those who do, it matters. End of discussion. Performance. Even after 4 months of use, this is still reminiscent of day one, on page with any flagship on the market. And for me, this Fold 3 has maintained its day one vibes, which leaves me satisfied. Now let's talk about battery, which seems to be the most controversial and debate-driving discussion in the tech community, especially when it comes to this device. Some will say it's good, some will call it trash, but let's get to the bottom of it all. Whew, I know you want to hear me blabber on about the Z Fold 3, but I gotta share today's partner, Epidemic Sound. There's a lot of you out there that I seriously and genuinely want to help you. I got hip to Epidemic Sound early in my YouTube career, and I want you to do the same. And this goes beyond YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, which is where we use music and sound effects to improve our video productions. But there's one key factor. You have to have proper licenses and copyright allowances, especially if you want to monetize. So I'm trying to help you keep your monetization, keep your channel, avoid any DMCA takedowns or copyright strikes by giving you a 30-day free trial link down in the description below to Epidemic Sound. Check it out. Trust me, their library is humongous and you will not be disappointed. Now back to me talking about this here Z Fold 3. Battery life is totally 100,000% subjective to the user and their use. Your app selection, the screen brightness, the amount of notifications that you actually personally receive, and so on. This is why no one person could ever speak for everyone when it comes to battery life. With that being said, this 4,400 milliamp hour battery either needs to increase in size or Samsung needs to better optimize this device to get the most out of this battery. Basically to accommodate more user types, aka the heavy user. User experience, the most important topic of them all. Now, specs are good, but user experience is what matters most. The combination of screen real estate and S Pen support make for a very fast and efficient experience for me. The S Pen is my go-to for replying to your comments and having speed and accuracy while doing so. Exploring social media is so nice and bold on this thing. It's a statement piece by far. Now, I'll admit there are areas for improvement, but since this is such a new chapter in tech, those areas for growth are warranted. Hate it or love it, it's one of the best.